Sheev Palpatine. Born the youngest of an aristocratic, affluent royal family, he held a different philosophy than that of his father. Sheev leaked secret information that caught the attention of a Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Plagueis, or better known to the Republic as Higo Damask. Darth Plagueis traveled to the planet of Naboo. Upon speaking with each other, Higo revealed Palpatine's deception of his father's will. Initially, Palpatine trembled to the thought of his father discovering his deception, until Higo eased his nerves in requesting Sheev to become his informant for the political ongoings of Naboo. A friendship as dangerous as Higo and Sheev was a friendship not easily hidden. Sheev's father met with Higo one evening to intimidate and discourage the bond that he had formed between him and his son. Sheev attempted to escape the planet of Naboo and was intercepted by his father's guards. Sheev was then taken to his father's royal ship, where his family waited for him. He was informed that they were sending him to Trimmel Minor to avoid embarrassing the family's name any further. An argument burst out, revealing the true feelings of hatred between Sheev and his father. Threats were exchanged, but it was Sheev who, with the Force, attacked his father. When his dark rage ended, the guards and the entire Palpatine family laid lifeless. Sheev reported the happenings to Plagueis, who assured him it would be taken care of. When Plagueis finally arrived a week later, Sheev was irritated, and it showed, but he was quickly warned by a heavy energy of darkness, and it was revealed that Plagueis was a Force-sensitive being, much stronger than himself. Sheev then became the apprentice of Darth Plagueis, taking the name Sidious. Darth Sidious learned to mask the dark side in the view of the public, while privately experimenting on creatures with his dark side powers and spells. Darth Plagueis and Sidious grew much more powerful in the Force. In an inquiry of dark magic, which was heavily concentrated on the Outer Rim planet of Dathomir, Sidious came across a Dathomirian witch, Mother Talzin, who hoped to be trained in the Force, but was tricked. Sidious stole her infant son, who was strong in the Force, who he would train in secrecy as a Sith. Palpatine eventually shared his new apprentice's existence to his master, claiming that Maul was never meant to be a Sith master, only to be a great warrior to do Palpatine's bidding. The Sith Order began plotting the extinction of the Jedi, knowing that for the Sith to rule, the Jedi would need to be destroyed. The Trade Federation were the first to manipulate to gain control of their droid army. It wasn't until 32 BBY that an invasion of his home planet of Naboo would set forth Palpatine's rise to power. With the connections Darth Plagueis was able to afford him, Sidious became the Supreme Chancellor quite easily. His first unofficial order of business was to complete the cycle of master and apprentice. Palpatine drugged his master, putting him into a deep sleep before taking his life. With his emancipation, Palpatine's excitement was dwindled by a disturbance in the Force. He would soon find it came from the loss of his apprentice. Being the only Sith in the galaxy, he needed to find an apprentice, having his eye on one boy soon to be a Jedi whose destiny was to bring balance to the Force. Knowing that there was no way to train the boy as a Sith, he befriended him as the father figure Anakin Skywalker longed for. But until Anakin was ready, Sidious had to find another. Count Dooku, a Jedi Master who rejected the ways of the Jedi. Born of the planet of Sereno, unlike most Jedi, knew where he was from, thus creating attachments. As a Jedi Master, there were attacks on his planet of Sereno, which the Senate nor the Jedi would aid in defending, causing Dooku to return and take matters into his own hands. In his victory, Dooku accepted the title and role of Count. An attempted assassination on a senator of Naboo would start an investigation led by the Jedi that would uncover a clone army on Kamino and lead them to the planet of Geonosis, where the Trade Federation was building a separatist droid army, which led to the beginning of the Clone Wars. Sidious allowed Dooku to be the face of the war, as he gained more and more power in the Senate. Eventually, Sidious allowed himself to be captured by General Grievous of the Separatist Army. Anakin Skywalker and Master Obi-Wan Kenobi would go on a rescue mission to save Palpatine, where they would face Dooku, the Master Swordsman, in a fatal battle. Anakin eventually disarmed Dooku, and with pressure from Palpatine, took Dooku's life. With rising doubts of Palpatine's accumulation of power, the Jedi Council requested Anakin to spy on the Chancellor, which he felt was a betrayal to the one man he confided in most. Being conflicted, Anakin shared with Palpatine, who had the power to save the one he loved, and Palpatine revealing himself as a Sith Lord. Anakin, torn by the knowledge, told Jedi Master Windu. The Jedi went to arrest Darth Sidious, and Mace Windu was able to defeat Sidious in a battle. But the manipulation of young Skywalker finally paid off, as he saved Palpatine's life and became his new apprentice, Darth Vader. Palpatine ordered the clone army to execute Order 66. Darth Vader was sent to wipe out the remaining Jedi at the temple, and then to Mustafar to take care of the rest of the Trade Federation. Darth Sidious held court where he declared himself the first galactic emperor. Shortly after, he felt a disturbance in the Force, and he traveled to Mustafar, where he found Darth Vader lying on the edge of a river of lava. Using the best medical technology that was available, Darth Vader was able to survive in great pain, forced to wear a great deal of armor made to look as evil as his heart had become. For years, the Empire ruled with little complications until the Great Battle of Yavin, where the Death Star was destroyed by a rebellion by a farm boy who was in fact Vader's son, Luke Skywalker. Sidious wanted to capture Luke and attempt to turn him to the dark side of the Force. When Luke finally faced his father in battle on the newly constructed Death Star, he disarmed Vader, but would not give in to the dark side, as Sidious edged him on, as he did his father with Dooku. The Emperor, fed up with Luke's Jedi self-righteousness, began electrocuting him with Force lightning. Vader had to choose his loyalty to the Sith or to his son, and he acted, lifting up Palpatine and throwing him into an energy shaft, ending his reign as the Emperor. Palpatine would later return, but his attempts all ended in failure. His hoarding of power was the cause of the fall, Thousands of years of planning, foiled by the tragedy of Darth Sidious.